Welcome to the Quality Problems Podcast, where we see problems as opportunities to learn, develop, and grow, both on a personal level and with your dog. In this podcast, we'll provide a unique perspective and the tools you'll need to take on challenges and come up with problem-solving solutions. The bigger the problem, the bigger the opportunity. Now let's get to problem solving. Yeah. Welcome to episode number 1 of Quality Problems Podcast. It's your host, Stan Smith, CEO of X-Dog. And to my left, I have none other than Derek Rose of Dallas Canine. If it ain't right, it's Logan White. And to my right, I got none other than A to the motherfucking Z.
Yep.
And we're here to solve some fucking problems. For anybody who, obviously everybody is new to the podcast, what we're going to focus on are quality problems. At the end of the day, we're going to talk about things that you can utilize in your business, but also problems that most dog people deal with as well, that Derek's going to be covering, and we're going to be feeding him some questions about that as well. So, but other than that, since this is our first episode, we're going to do a little bit of introduction. We'll start with Derek, and he's going to tell you a little bit about himself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Derek Rose, like he mentioned. I'm the owner of Dallas Canine Academy. I've been training canines roughly since 2001, 2002. I'm a former law enforcement officer, and now what we do is we just train police canines, military canines, and pet dogs as well. Hope you all enjoy the show.
Yeah, and if you all don't know, he has an amazing dog by the name of Casino. He just got his PSA level 3, right?
Yes, Casino. That's my main man right there. That's my buddy. You cannot purchase him, so don't ask.
Didn't you have a massive offer for him?
$110K, and he'll die here.
Some light.
Yeah, something like.
Yeah,
and we got Logan Knight over here.
what's going on, everybody? My name is Logan White. I am head of our sales department when it comes to wholesale and retail sales for company X-Dog. Basically, why I'm here is meeting Stan back in the day. About 3 years ago?
Yeah, it was about 3 years ago.
2.5, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I was from training his son in basketball because I actually growing up, I love sports, just love to compete, and to work hard. And then I ended up playing ball myself, and then that translated into actually meeting Stan, working with his son, and then from there I actually joined the Fire Academy. And the whole purpose of all that was to help people, and to bring an impact and bring value to something. And stuff don't always fall the way it's supposed to. So I ended up, needing a job. Stan was like, hey, man, come work for me. Let's fucking kill it. Let's crush it, So I was like, all right, sounds good, and I started doing that. And then this kind of translated into the same thing. I mean, what we do here is we're trying to help people, solve problems. Yeah. And, that's the main goal. So I just wanted to, that's me, you know what I'm saying?
And he's a problem-solving motherfucker. I'll tell you that.
That's a hell of a movie.
Yeah.
Movie pitch.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's pretty good there, Logan. Hey, I'm happy you gave up on basketball.
I was pretty good. If y'all don't know, I was all right.
He is the Larry Bird of Forney.
I don't know if that's a compliment.
Yeah, I mean, I was all right.
I mean, he has a poster in his office.
Yeah. Ever Larry Bird.
And we got AZ over here to our right. He's been a hidden gem and helped scale up X-Dog as a whole. He's started from the trenches with us as well, but I'll let him tell his story.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm a little camera shy. But, me and Stan, we met a little before I started. I think it was probably like a few months, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I believe I've been with this company about 6 months already doing.
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah. Okay, doing coordination of operations and logistics. So I'm kind of all over the place. Everybody is really right now.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. It's always been my thing. I mean, ever since I was young, I just always, it's a gift and a curse. You can be like over analytical about things. You see something, you want to figure out how it works. So I always want to break it down. I ask questions why, and some people. I'm not saying they don't take the initiative for that, but that's just always been me. Like I sit down and I'll sit there for 12 hours till I figure it out. So when I stepped in here and saw what Stan was doing, one, I was already intrigued. just from the community and how he spoke, and we were both kind of like on the same wavelength, like even on our diet and
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
So when I got in here and what was that for? These lean turkey bacon eating guys, you know, they always got something to say. Yeah, no, but yeah, so stepped in here, started asking questions, and then Stan just gave me full control into what I want to do. He let me be me, and when I did so, it started flowing smoothly.
Something I would say, man, you're a beast at what you do, you know.
I'm like,
So
No, yeah, it's kind of crazy. We brought him on as a sales rep, and it wasn't his strength. So we had to, once we identified that problem, that we had him in an area that it wasn't really his strong suit. Not to say he was a bad salesperson, but his strength is logistics and streamlining a business. He scaled up our business tremendously in a way that I couldn't even imagine. And I think that's one of the benefits or the strengths that I have, is that if you are running a business, you have to surround yourself around people who are smarter than you. For example, I'm not great at training dogs, but I got a solid motherfucker right here who knows how to train the shit out of some dogs.
Yeah,
right?
Logan. I'm just kidding.
take some bites.
But yeah, but behind the scenes, who you can't see is another hidden gem. Is we call him Gomi. Brought him on as a sales rep too, and we realized that this guy is a genius when it comes to the whole affiliated marketing program.
Yeah.
His wife is part of a big company, and he understood that. But he also shoots our films. He edits our films. Man, he's another hidden gem, and that's why I feel like this journey is such a purposeful journey, because that shit is an accident, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you start finding your way and you find your purpose, doors start opening and things start falling in your lap, and it isn't an accident. And of course, my story is I started in 2005 with the dog supplements. I was a guy who got in trouble. I was living out of my car, and I was pretty much jobless. But I took some of the things that I learned in the past, and I private labeled some vitamins and went to a dog show and sold out in 30 minutes. I knew I had some, but all the way up to 2013, I was failing, man. I probably took 10,000 L's on the way up there, and that's when the business was going under with MVP Canine, and I met my current business partner, Steven Cortez, who is a master in his own right in what he does. And the year later, that year we began Muscle Bully, which transcended over to Earth Vet. And then in 2017, we came out with the product, the X Dog Vest, which all cultivated what we have here today. But as far as when it comes to a dog problem, Derek, what is one of the most common problems that, let's talk about the everyday dog owner first, and then let's talk about competition dogs. What's a common problem or a mistake that most people do when it comes to actually getting a dog and bringing one home?
Well, I'll touch on a few. There's a lot of problems people run into when they're selecting a puppy. Now, this can go hand in hand with a working dog. This can be a pet dog, whatever the case may be. But first thing you should look for when you're selecting a pet dog is the nerve in the puppy. You want to make sure the dog has really good nerves, really good environmentals. The reason I say that is because when you get a dog like that has horrible nerves, he can become a fear biter, which is one of the most dangerous dogs. So if a dog gets startled by being scared, they can't grab with their hands like we do as people. So what they do, they bite. One quick snip from a dog can be really, really bad. You know, one of those canines seek into your forearm or your leg or whatever it may be is going to hurt really bad. And same, let's use Logan, for example. Logan's a scary guy, right?
Of course.
So
Very intimidating.
if AZ and Stan and myself, we get him in the corner, if he can't flight, he's going to have to fight.
And he
Bad
ain't getting
nerves.
very far.
He's not getting very far.
That
So,
wasn't the fastest.
so when you're looking for a puppy, make sure you look for the nerves, make sure the dog has good environmentals. When you get that dog home, make sure you start the structure. Keep the dog in a crate. This is going to help you with the potty training, okay? So for straight 2 weeks, in and out, in and out. When he's out, reward. Keep the dog on a leash while the dog is pottying. You don't want the dog to have free time. You want the dog to understand that, hey, I'm out here to take care of business. Then I get to go back in.
Now, real quick, what do you mean by reward? Let's say I'm a novice dog owner. I bring home a puppy from a rescue, and I have him in the crate. I crate train him. What do you mean by reward?
Reward means it could be treats. It could be his regular kibble. It could be some raw food that you have. It could be a toy, but the dog has to associate the marker, which is a yes or a click. A lot of people use the clicker. Reward. So if you do that, your dog is going to understand and have a clear understanding of what behavior you're trying to pull out of him.
How important is timing on the reward?
It's very important. When you first start, I like to have a window between 1 to 2 seconds. Reward. I'm saying I don't use the clicker. I say yes, reward, yes, reward, yes, reward. And it has to be consistent. The reason why I say yes is because I'm pretty consistent with my tone. If you're not consistent with the same tone, you have to use a clicker or something like that. Key element to the reward. The reward, the anticipation of the reward is more important than the reward. You get it? So, dog's ears perk, reward.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Gotcha.
Now, a lot of dog owners that recently, let's say they're new novice dog owners, they talk to their dog like humans.
Yeah.
That's a massive problem.
Yeah, I don't do it.
Yeah.
He don't understand the damn thing you're saying.
I mean,
Yeah.
You know?
I do that.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But yeah, I mean,
No, man. It's okay to love on your dog. For example, when I come home, when Casino was young, I come home. If he's out of his crate, my wife don't let him out or whatever, which she don't supposed to. Mm-hmm. Let him out the crate. I ignore him. I walk right past my dog. Once I'm done doing whatever I need to do, then I come back and then we engage. That eliminates my separation anxiety and all of that bad behavior stuff that can develop from that. You do that, don't you? You go right home
To his
and be
girlfriend.
like, hey, boy. Not me.
yeah. Well, I getting in this business. I mean, I've always had I've had dogs my whole life, but I've always had them as, pet.
There's nothing
let
wrong
them
with
run
that.
around, just let them be themselves, man, and just loving on them. But I'm starting to, because I'm actually in the process, hopefully getting up myself a bully, eventually. And I'm listening to you right now, so I'll take these tips. And
Yeah, when you get your bully, I'm going with you.
Logan likes to take tips.
That brings me to a question. I know Derek touched on it before.
Yeah.
And it was like, when you teach your dog to be so like, almost like no nonsense as far as like just everything's a job. Or
Yeah.
they have a job. Does it take away from, I guess, the affectionate part, or
No.
or do they still like that love or want it?
Absolutely. Because dogs naturally get more enjoyment playing with one another than playing with you, or myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you want to take that completely out. My dog don't play with dogs, right? He plays with me. His food comes from me. I'm his source of life. I'm his everything. So engagement is huge, and he loves me for that. He loves the structure that I've already put in place for him. So when my dog is time to eat, everything comes from my hand. Nothing from a bowl. Now, Casino's up in age. Now he eats out of his crate, right? I put his food in his crate. He eats out of his crate. But before he goes in there to eat, he's going to give me a sit, a down, a stand. He's going to speak. At least 2 or 3 of those behaviors before he goes in there to eat.
Couple push-ups.
No. Yeah. Sit down. Sit down. Yes.
You talk about how you feed them. A common problem that we deal with all the time is free feeding.
Yes.
Why is that such a negative thing for especially dog training? I know it's a negative thing as far as on the nutrition side, but explain to the audience of why it's a negative thing when it comes to training your dog.
The reason why that's a good question too. The reason why it's a negative thing when it comes to training a dog is because just like you started your company, you started in 2005. Then you came on, you've been around 6 months. You're around 2 years, right? You didn't think I was listening to all that, right? Mm-mm. So listen at this. If you came to work every day,
Which I
right, and Stan didn't pay you, would you work the next day?
Yes.
Tell the truth.
Because I believe in the vision, man. That's
Hey.
why. I'm dedicated.
Let's say you go 2 years down the road and that same thing
Oh, of
is
course
going on.
not. Of course not.
Exactly, right? Let's say you came to work and Stan was just loading you with money and you wasn't working, would you keep paying him?
I literally said this, was it yesterday? I
Hold on. You asked me a question, AZ. Let me finish. Would you keep paying him?
No, not if he's not producing.
Exactly. Same thing with dogs, right? So if I tell a dog to sit, and he doesn't get paid, his sit gonna go from to until I'm not sitting anymore because I'm not getting rewarded for it.
But then if he's getting rewarded
If he's getting
without
rewarded,
sitting,
if he's getting rewarded for not sitting, then he's not going to sit, right?
Yeah.
But if he's getting paid for a fast, quick, nice, posture-looking good sit, and you're paying him every time the exact same way,
Yeah.
it's going to be fast.
yeah.
So if you're free feeding a dog, hey, I ain't working. Hey, if I had $1 million, someone gave me $1 million, and you gave me $1 million, Dan, and you told me, Derek, come work for me, I ain't coming. I'm gonna appreciate that $1 million.
God damn you, you son of a bitch! You were coming to work. I'm gonna get your horse. Fucking take your horse. I bet you your ass come ass to work.
He's out front.
Yeah, fucking Derek's rose is reward is his horses. So
Yeah, I re-roll my horse, man. I give him a good old pat right there on his left shoulder. Right there on his left shoulder every time he gives me a good behavior.
But what were you saying?
Oh no, I mean it's so different from the point he was trying to make. I
Yeah.
was just saying I did say something about that where I wouldn't feel right getting overpaid for not doing my job.
Yeah.
There you
But
go.
dogs don't care about that. They'll overindulge all they want. you know
All
what I
they
mean?
want.
Logan?
Integrity, you know.
Yeah.
So, hey, so if you have a bowl of food, right,
Mm-hmm.
and the dog comes over, he eats all he wants for that moment.
Mm-hmm.
He goes back over, sleep in a corner, right? I'm hungry again. Come back over here and finish
Yeah,
it.
that's not.
Yeah.
There's no structure. No structure at all.
Yeah. So you're saying it's very important to have structure when it
It's
comes to
very, very important, even with kids.
Oh yeah, I agree
Same
with
thing
that
with
too.
dogs. Playpen for kids, crate for dogs.
Well, so we kind of gave you some stuff on those are absolutely valuable tips, man. And if you start implementing that, even some of those little tips, you're gonna go a long way with your dog. And but today's topic that we really wanted to talk about that I know everybody experiences is trolls and how trolls can transcend transactions. And we discuss this all the time amongst ourselves. But Derek, I mean, you have a business, right? You
Yes.
run Dallas Canine. I know there's a lot of politics in dogs, so I'll let
Very.
you go ahead and take the platform first. How do you deal with it a lot as far as like people talking shit about your program and how you train? And is that a big thing in the community?
Yes. It's not only myself, but other dog trainers, other dog training companies. We deal with it on a day-to-day basis. We have people. I remember when I first started, right, getting into what we call PSA, Protection Sports Association,
Yeah.
right? And I'm huge on marketing myself. I'm huge on marketing my dog. And I used to have people saying, all he do is post videos of his dog. All he do is post videos of himself. In the back of my head, I'm thinking, do you get mad at McDonald's for posting videos or commercials? Do you get mad at Walmart and Target? Hey, I have this platform. I have this free avenue to advertise myself and my business. I'm going to do it.
Absolutely.
But now, time has gone by, and I see those same people posting videos,
Yeah, because it works.
Comes full
posting
circle.
pictures, and doing everything that I was doing with their dogs. But when I was doing it, it was bad.
Well, they invest energy into things that don't serve them. So when they're saying something like that, like you said, McDonald's or any other
Yeah.
type of company commercial, what can they do? They can change the channel, but they
Yeah.
choose not to change the
They-
channel.
They still watch
Right?
that commercial.
They still watch it. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about as far as like you can utilize trolls. Trolls are actually very valuable to your business if
Correct.
you use them right. They can cultivate your content. As you know, like Facebook, Instagram, they run off algorithms. So what you can't do is get emotionally invested into a shit comment that you get on one of your posts, but you can strategize by debating with them and allowing them to comment back. And by doing that, they're actually helping you. They're serving you by shooting you high up in the algorithms.
Of course.
You know, so also, you know, they always talk about how, what is it, how controversy sells, right? They always talk about how controversy sells. We know that controversy doesn't sell. A quality product sells, but controversy puts eyeballs on your product. So what we deal with on a daily basis, for example, we have people, I mean, dog communities, there's a shit ton of groups on Facebook, right?
Yes.
And there's groups that have 30, 40 to 100,000. And when somebody trolls one of our posts or brings us up, for example, what they do is they think they're actually hurting your brand, but the reality is they're putting eyeballs on it because there's thousands of people that don't know your product, right? So what happens is they lay the cards down. You can hear, it's kind of like you're going up for battle in like politics, right? listen to me. I've never used this product. This is just my personal opinion on this product. Or listen to everybody else and check them out. Check out this product. And they're insulting the consumer in reality. The consumer's going to go, okay, all right, I look at you. You seem like you're pissed off every day, right? And it seems like you're kind of hating, right? And then let me go check out the product. I've never heard of them anyways. And they go, holy shit. Look at all these new personal performance records, or look at all these people that are endorsing the product.
Right.
You know, so they actually put eyeballs on your product and your brand. The only time you really have to worry about a troll is if you have a shit product.
Yeah.
If you have a shit product, it can kill you. But if you have a quality product, man, you can utilize trolls and haters like none other. I mean, think about it. Every time that our sales shoot up, and we're like, I'll hit Steven up and like, damn, are we running a sale? What the hell's going on? Next thing you know, I'm getting a couple messages and there's screenshots of somebody talking shit.
Yeah, there's
right?
a small debate going on about the product, and then you got like the whole community having your back and jumping on them. And then I think that also intrigues people. The fact that like if you build like a strong enough community that if they're defending in your honor, even if you're not around, even then it intrigues the consumer who's never bought the product just to be like, you know what? Like, I don't know. It seems like they're on the right side, and that person's just being a hater, like you said.
But that's something I see too. I mean, with me having, 3 or 4 different ads that I manage on Facebook, you'll have people that will say something about this type of breed, but then it'll spark a 10 comment, 15 comment conversation, and like you're saying with algorithms, I mean, it goes crazy. So it changes the whole. And then I'll I'll virtual door knock. I'll go in there and I'll ask the people that actually were wondering or asking questions about their product or didn't think it was going to work, end up making a sale with them because
Well, I'm sorry.
we have a quality product. I mean,
I am one of those guys who are totally guilty of wanting to go at somebody's
Me
ass.
too. I used to be too.
So I learned that from Stan, just from talking to Stan about it. It's like you can address a situation in a positive way instead of going at them negative and giving them exactly what they're expecting is, to have an argument with you on a post.
Well, the reality is that when you get deep into it, the problem's not the product.
Yeah.
They're just exerting their energy and investing their time and energy into something to avoid what really is the problem, which is usually something within them.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, man, everybody that I fucking know, all my mentors and stuff, they don't have time to debate or invest any type of energy into that. I don't have time anymore. So shoot, man, I can even imagine doing it. But then what you realize is when you actually hit that person's page, they have no likes.
Exactly.
There's no attention.
I was going to say that just for
That's
fun,
true.
I'll either go to their profile or even let's say if it's even like an Amazon customer or something, I'll just like look at the profile just to see, just see what kind of reviews or what comments they would leave on page or even their own profile, like what would their status be for the day.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's negative or it'd be
Majority of the time it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the love-hate. I mean, I love it because they can help your algorithms and boost your business. I hate it because I really know what's really going on, and you really want to help that person and say, hey, look, think about it. If let's say X Dog wasn't even around, you think that person's problems is going away? Fuck no.
Yeah, it's like those people that they're in denial. I mean, somebody's just trashing just a shitty ass comment, but in reality, we know what's in our products. We know the ingredients. We know the impact it's making on dogs, but they don't. But it's like you want to help that person, but they're so in denial that they don't want to listen to the shit.
It's almost a cry for attention.
Yeah, I mean, so it's.
Well, what do we talk about all the time? The 3 things that sell: attention, hope, and time.
Right.
And sex.
Yeah.
Sex sells a lot. Logan, you know what he's talking about.
Sex is a hidden bullet point on that list, by the way.
Yeah, it's hidden. It's hidden. Hey, but we run into that too also in like the competition world, the K9 competition world. Like we have PSA, Protection Sports Association. You have Monday Ring. You have IPO. They change their name every other week, it seems like. You have French Ring. You have the Belgian Ring Dogs. You have, what is it, NADF. They kind of new to the scene. You have the APPDA. I think that's the name of it. Pretty good group of guys that started that organization back up. But with that being said, you have people who's failed in PSA, then they go over to another sport, and then next thing you know, they bashing the heck out of PSA. It's not PSA that made you mad. It's not the organization. It's not Jerry Bradshaw, who's the founder of PSA. it's you and your shitty dog that didn't put time in to train right to excel in PSA. Then you go over to another sport. I'm not saying that you did well over there, but you know, that's just not your cup of tea. Don't mean you bash my damn sport.
Right.
Yeah.
I could call some names out, you assholes.
Well, that's the whole thing, man. The problem really isn't the product. The problem is the person, and that's what they don't realize. I mean, we like, for example, we sell physical goods, right? We have the vests, we have the supplements, but that's not our product, right? Our product is consumer experience. And that's what sets us apart from everybody. Like, you think about it, like a lot of people are like, man, I ain't paying $100 for a vest. And then you ask yourself this quality question, go, well, if I spend $100 for a vest, right, and I divide that by 365 days, that's about 27 cents a day. You see what I'm saying? And then you're not just investing in the vest. The product is like, for example, Team X Dog, the group.
Yeah.
Right.
You now have access to resources like Derek, who can help solve problems.
Absolutely.
AZ, who can help solve problems, a whole community of thousands of amazing dog owners, handlers, trainers, and just people who can just solve your problem, and it's free.
Well, on top of what you just said, Stan, I mean, I saw something on Instagram the other day. It was, you know, people were having conversation in some of our comments, and somebody said, oh, that's too expensive, or, you know, they're complaining about the price, but then somebody came back and replied with saying, you're going to spend more money on dog food within, you know, a month than you would on a vest.
Yeah.
The vest is an investment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when people start to realize that it's actually an investment and what it's going to do for your dog, not only for yourself, I mean, it's going to change the whole aspect of what you think as exercise and truly optimizing your dog's health. So, you know, it's just it's crazy.
People, you got to, and that's the thing we talked about the other day. The quality of the questions that you ask yourself can completely change the trajectory of your life. You know, I went from how much money can I make doing this? Remember?
Yeah.
And I said, and I switched that question to how many people can we impact doing this? And when I switched that question, it completely changed the dynamics of the business and my life in general. So, but other than that, man, every week, guys, every other week for this month, we're going to give this podcast out. It's, you know, if you could do us a solid, if you got any value out of this episode, please leave us a review. We're absolutely doing this for free. Derek, I mean, as far as what he does and training-wise, he charges high dollar. He's giving you this value for free. We're giving you this value for free. And if you have any topics, you know, do us a solid, leave us a 5-star review and bring up a problem that you may want us to address. And we're going to give you the tools and the perspective on how to actually solve those problems. So again, thank you guys for your time. Hold on a second. Okay.
Stan is right. The price is high. It's $3,300 a month. So make sure you tune in. 6 months, that's $19,800. That's how much the training is. So make sure you all tune in and get these free tips.
That's 30 vests.
And that's actually, and that's actually giving that product away, because Derek does an absolutely amazing job when it comes to training dogs. I mean,
Appreciate it.
That's the whole thing. There's a lot of big name people that come to him, and it's going to even get crazier. But again, if you could do that, do us a solid. We're going to be running contests on there too. We're going to look this episode. After we get our first 100 reviews, we're going to actually select probably about 10 different individuals who are going to be able to win vests and other products that come from us as well. But again, thank you very much for your time, guys. Again, we couldn't do this without you. We love you and support. We love all the support that you're giving us. And, man, we look forward to solving more problems with you. Talk to y'all soon.